Yo, this is still some of the best freaking art in this game, in my opinion. This just looks so simple, but so clean. That Trunks looks so good. So, for today's video, if you couldn't tell, we are revisiting the EX Future Gohan that has been in the game for like forever and a day. He's been in the game for forever, literally. We're revisiting him, but not only that, we have a twist. So this basically is just Future Gohan Day on the channel. We are using all three Future Gohans on one team in a video that I do not recommend you guys trying, but it'll be fun, and we're going to test it out. So if you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, sticking around for more content. Let me know in the comment section down below some of the things you guys want to see coming to the channel soon and stuff like that. And then today's video like goal will be 1,000 likes. If you guys enjoy the content, please be sure to help us hit that like goal. You know what? Actually, let's up it. Let's up it to 2,000. We're going to splurge a little bit today. So we have 3 matches for today's video. Again, all 3 Future Gohans. The bench will just probably be, actually, it's going to be Rose, it's going to be Super Saiyan transforming LF Goku, and SS3 Gotenks on the bench. That's what we're doing. So we have these guys, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, our first match is going to be versus Obsessed with the Android/Female Warrior team. Let's go ahead and jump into our first match. So because I really enjoyed Goresh's video that I helped him with, I was busy. It was Mother's Day. I couldn't really voice over with him. But because I really enjoyed his video of me and him fighting, if you guys haven't seen it, link will be down below. I decided, you know what, I'll also kind of do a post-commentary video. It's been a while since I've done one, so a lot of you guys enjoy them when I do them. And if you guys want to see more, let me know. And also, like I said, let me know what you guys want to see. So here we go. We have a match versus Female Warriors. Very common build. Sans the Kefla, though, but I mean, it's still really common. I like leading with this Future Gohan because he's my best leader, and then when the enemy switches, I get buffs and restore ki, yada yada, and he would obviously be leading with the blue, so it just made the most sense. So one thing that's really cool about this Future Gohan, the green one, is, well, the sparking green. Just for the record, I'm pretty sure some of my opponents get kind of confused about which Gohan is which, because I swear I remember the EX getting rushed, and I'm like, why would you rush the EX? He does nothing. He literally does nothing. He has a unique for, like, damage cut, and that's it, right? He literally does nothing. Anyways, so I'm going to get him confused, but sparking Future Gohan. He has the ability to be a good last man standing type unit, so in that instance, he actually pairs very well with Yellow Gohan. I was wasting time here to get the EX back available in case he went for a rush, by the way. Get another perfect vanish. I'm going to go ahead and charge here, go for the blue, just to get that Dragon Ball, and then I'm going to drift to mid-range and go for a rush. I was actually hoping he was going to switch, and I would have rushed whoever came in, but it works. I mean, I get the early rush, kind of early, but I've had priority for the whole match pretty much. So, anyways, yeah. He synergizes well with Future Gohan Yellow because of the when defeated buffs. But one thing I found out was that I couldn't let Yellow Future Gohan die for the most part. I actually really needed him. I needed to have that yellow unit. Sidestep? Yeah. I mistimed it, and so I was like, okay, I'll bail myself out with tap punches. Anyways, yeah, I needed the yellow unit because double green is just, it's not safe. And that was, hold on, let me show you guys a little bit of what I did there. I didn't really talk about the whole sequence leading up to the rush right here, but that was also a nice sequence of wasting time and things like that with all the tackles, yada, yada. You guys have probably seen that stuff a lot. But right here, this is something I see a lot, and I kind of want people to get familiar with. Using the green cards and transformations and stuff like this to stop the clock is incredibly valuable. So I also turned it against him, though, right? Because he goes for a green to stop the clock, and I'm right here. I'm in the middle of drifting backwards. Natural inclination, as he sees this, is to go for a tackle, right? So I immediately turn it into a blast. And then that's just intuition. That'll work maybe about majority of the time, maybe about 70% of the time somebody goes for a tackle there when they see that, or a strike or something, and you can get them with the blast. So that's a very simple tactic in that instance. If they stop the clock while you're drifting back, that's something to definitely think about. Because he clearly was going to go for the tackle, because tackle actually stops that drifting back tactic, excuse me. That's the whole reason it came into the game in the first place, is because people were playing super passive with the Goku. So that dude was so broken, they made a whole battle version just to stop him. Anyways, did I mention that the EX Future Gohan only has cover cut? And he has healing between his main and the green, but like he only has cover cut. So there's that. I think he has a unique, let me not sell him short. I think he has a unique for if you have a Trunks battle member on your team. But like I don't, so it's irrelevant. He goes for a rush. Oh no. And okay, let me say this. This is the first match I played with this team before I really was like, oh, wait, I need to actually keep this dude alive. You would think I would know that because 21 is there and she can shred my team to pieces, right? But one thing that's really cool about the future Gohan sparking is that he can also go neutral. Like, that dude's really good. He's honestly pretty good. And again, check out the video where I showcase him in depth more so. But I was thinking about that, and I really thought I could get the Vanish in time, but I didn't. I didn't get the Vanish in time. But I was so shocked that he actually rushed the EX. I swear this dude got him confused. There's no reason to rush this dude. he's decently tanky because cover cut, and I gave him a whole bunch of like HP and like defense types of equips. But there was no reason, man. I mean, the other one's transformed, so I don't know. You pick your poison. But he probably saw Green Future Gohan. That's the hill I'm gonna die on, man. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that guy. Okay, so this dude, I think he lives this actually. Yeah. Because type advantage saved him, so he's good. He barely lives. This is something that's been happening to me a lot lately, and it's actually really annoying. It's super duper annoying, right? Watch what happens with my. You can see my taps on the screen, by the way. Watch what happens when I dash forward, go to the side. Look at my cards right here when I dash forward. I'm clicking and charging in between the cards. I don't know what happened or how it happened, but all of a sudden I started having that really bad habit, and it honestly almost catches me, costs me these matches, bro. Like, I'll be in some really close matches, and I'll, like, click in between the cards. It happened in, like, 2 videos this week already, and I was like, dude, okay. So right there, I was waiting for a tackle, because one thing I've learned, too, about players, a lot of people will adapt, and a lot of people are good at adapting. Thank you for switching in advance. I didn't mind that, by the way. But one thing I've learned is when people start out or they show an inclination to go for see, there it is again. When they show an inclination to go for mid-range tackles like that, they're going to keep doing it the whole match, right? They kind of do it a lot. There are tendencies people have, and I have my own tendencies too, right? So I try to switch it up a bit. Like, he did a good job right there, not size hitting at all, by the way. I try to switch it up a little bit. But I learned that people do that a lot, so I kind of have the intuition of, like, waiting for them to go for the tackle at neutral, because a lot of people do. Anyway, so we go for the ult. Like I said, I've been trying to protect this guy for the most part after I kind of realized, oh, hey, I actually really need him. Canceling buffs is really good. Right now I'm hoping for a green card. Just trying to, you know, do some... Ah, I was late, but I still got him. By the way, Green Future Gohan has been able so far to control this match and the placements of units because of the sub count going up. So not only does he throw them out of the arena and forces them to sub for someone else, see, there's another tackle, but I don't have strikes sometimes. And I go for the single tap, by the way. After I got his Vanish, he basically lost because I had to rush. But Future Gohan also has a really strong strength in not only determining the matchup, but also forcing them to stay gone for a really long time. By the way, now I don't need yellow Future Gohan, so I think I sack him off. I draw a green card. Yeah, there it is. I go for the heal. I can't resist that type of play. I personally, in my heart of hearts, I can't resist it. I don't want to see any unit die. If I can avoid it, I'll try to. But I get caught here. Anyways. Yeah, so, like, he can control the match and the matchups and also force them to stay out for a long time, pretty much. So that's one thing he's really good at. EX gets the win right here, by the way. So, anyways, let's go ahead and run it with another match here. Also, I have never seen this win screen. And here is match number 2 versus a Saiyan team and freaking Zenkai 7 Kid Goku. Definitely a very problematic match for me. This team, this is the meta Saiyan team. Like, it really just at some point does not matter anywhere near as much when I'm using, like, you know, subpar units or not so great units, or it's pretty obvious who I'm using or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. You know, he just has way better units. Like, each of his units is better than each of my units, basically. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. But I didn't mind at the same time because I actually thought it would be a really tough match for me, and it started lagging, by the way. I think this is a match where you can see my inputs, and it just won't register some of them. Like, he sidestepped here. I did the green just to stop the clock there. Let me go ahead and just kind of explain that a little bit. But yeah, this I didn't mind though because I was like, oh, this will be a good test for this type of team, right? But yeah, I did the green right here just to stop the clock. If you guys aren't so familiar with that tactic, and I heard the sidestep, and that was basically it. So right here, the little grunt the Goku just made, that's why I immediately clicked the strike, because I was going to be able to get priority there. Wasting time with the tackle step. I've basically tried to eliminate tackles from my game other than doing it that way for the most part, because they're too easily what's the word, counterable, right? Like I was saying in the first one. I went for an extra tackle there though, because I kind of didn't mind trying to get that dude's vanish and forcing him out. So anyways, he goes for a rush. I'm on a cover cut here, and again the EX one is getting rushed. I'm just like, dude, why is everybody rushing the EX? Why do they hate this dude with a passion? He literally did nothing wrong. He didn't even get a chance. He did nothing wrong. He came into the match. I bet dude was like, oh crap, that was the wrong Gohan. I swear I'd be like, oops, unless they're doing some higher IQ type of play, man. That was a really good delay from him there. Unless they're doing some higher IQ type of play. Look how much damage we're taking just from this dude. And he doesn't even have defeated allies. The blue Goku hasn't switched a bunch. Like, this damage is far from as good as it can be. And I have to switch here because I was like, oh, well, the green one could be good as a last man, but it's still kind of early for me. I haven't even got my rush. Got the vanish there. I think he switches at this point into the blue Goku. But I could go neutral right here, but I just wanted to see what he would do. So that's why I kind of held off for a bit. But right here I go, finally. I could have gone earlier and probably would have killed this Goku in the combo. That's a bit of a misplay from me, but I just was like, dude, I don't know what he's going to do, right? So I forced the switch out. That puts him on a longer sub count up timer. The vanish there, it's not a perfect. I turn it into blast, which is the slower of the two cards between strikes and blasts. So definitely not ideal. But I can actually... The thing about, again, like I said earlier, this Gohan's green card is I can determine my matchup for the most part. Obviously, the opponent can switch it up a little bit by switching in or whatever I'm going for the green card. But I connect here. But I was able to match up really well with a green and yellow versus a blue and purple, basically, right? And I kind of didn't want to switch here because this dude, I didn't want to give him any more ki and stuff like that, so I waited as much as I could, right? And that's kind of what I was thinking about, but I was like, I just kind of have to switch here. I have a green in my hand, so I immediately clicked that. Heal up a little bit, get the strike damage buff. Get him there, but I was late. Dude, can't be late. Absolutely can't be late. And then he wins right here. I had a chance, bro. I just was late. I just was late, man. So I think he can finally go Kid Goku. Look how long he's letting this Goku stay in. I bet it's because Kid Goku hasn't been able to come back in. I'm pretty sure he can now, though. But for a while, Kid Goku was on cooldown. Dude, if he's still on cooldown, that's pretty nuts. Like, that Gohan green is really good. I got caught between a rock and a hard place right there. And let me just say, this dude likes going for tackles. He likes going for tackles. Either he was doing them all game and I just kind of didn't catch on so much like I did in the first match, or he liked them the whole time, right? But one thing that's for sure is tackles wind up biting me in the butt in this match. Because right here, if you don't have a strike in your hand, by the way, this is what makes blast cards inferior, aside from the activation speed. But they're just grossly inferior because they don't interact with tackle at all. At least from mid-range, right? You have to do it immediately before they input the tackle, basically, to get them. If they're, like, already in the animation, they're going to hit you first, right? So if you don't have a strike in your hand, and I was caught between a rock and a hard place right here, there was not much I could really do aside from vanish. But I got caught because I wanted to go for a blast, right? So he goes for another tackle, and I anticipated it, and I immediately go in. So what I'm thinking about right here is, like, dude, I kind of have to go for a rush. So I go for a rush. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to choose? And I go for the blue, and I'm just praying I don't get guessed, right? Because obviously it's going to kill his first life. Now we have a scenario where both of these dudes are super good last man standing, right? But no cards in hand! No cards in hand because the rush. And he went for an immediate tackle. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let me just back up for a second. But I failed to make the adjustment right there in this match. This is why I like post-commentary, too, because I can explain this. In this game, I was flustered from the beginning because I was already like, oh, his team's way better than mine. He's got basically the best Saiyan team, right? That's pretty much the full best core that you can run with this team. You guys can debate whether you want to run Namek Goku over Blue Goku for X reason, whatever, or what you have, you don't, whatever, right? But I was kind of flustered. Even though I match up decently well with color, green and yellow, it didn't matter if he was able to control who his last man was, which he was, because Kid Goku is so freaking good as a last man, especially if he's been able to get those buffs from the Blue Goku, even if it's just 1 or 2 buffs from the Blue Goku. Kid Goku is a monster, right? So right here, after the rush, I got caught because I was trying to back up to generate distance, right? I like to generate distance so I can be patient. But I do not match up well as a player of this game versus people that don't give me the chance to be patient. That's my biggest downfall in terms of who I match up well with. I don't match up great with aggressive players, right? And the downside is tackle is so stupidly powerful that if I have no strike, I honestly have no way to interact with it. So the only instance that this works out well for me right here is if I vanish and maybe he sidesteps after. He probably doesn't, by the way. He probably just goes straight into a strike, and he wins. I could have tapped him and prolonged it, but he still just wins, right? There's not much I could really do. I had no hand anyway because to rush. The only thing I could have done is tackled immediately afterwards, like I think we did earlier, and clashed him on the tackle. But since I get caught backing up for half a second, he gets priority because I tried to turn it into a tackle because I was like, oh, wait, I should tackle here. But no, I'm backing up, and I couldn't turn it. He already got priority, and this is how this goes. A valiant effort, though, for sure. Valiant effort for sure. And here we have our last one versus a Fusions team. So we're going to try to go through this one kind of quickly. Here we go. And like I said, the last match, we tried. We tried hard, man. And the thing is, that whole match, I was kind of playing 2v3 because I lost the EX so early in the match. By the way, he goes for the mid-range strike, which a lot of people do, right? Because that is a good way to either get baited. I try to go for a tackle there. Or to bait the enemy out, right? And what I mean by that is, and there's a tackle, intuition. Most people drifting in, they go for a tackle. So you might want to switch that up sometimes and go for a blast. It's a good idea. Anyways, what I mean by that was, what's it called? The strike card from mid-range is, you're either going to get, look at that, look at the tendency. He's already drifting in every play, going for tackles. You're either going to get priority or you're going to get perfect vanished. So it's kind of risky to do the strike from mid. But it's a really good thing versus other blast armor units because they're sitting on the strike card waiting for something, so you'll clash most of the time. Most of the time I clash when I'm playing a blast armor unit because people go for a strike in mid-range, which is a really good play. This dude's backing up, but my drift forward generated just enough distance to where we actually wind up going for a clash here. Or just enough, close just enough distance, excuse me. Lagging a bit. He gets a switch here, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and switch. I go to my main to force this dude out, I think. Yeah, so right here it's going to force in Vegito, but I'm actually okay with that because I'm neutral. It's not a huge deal. And I'm just shy on ki, so I'm going to wait on it. But, yeah, I could force in Vegito. I'm waiting for a tackle. See, okay, this is another one. Hold on. This is another one. Remember how I talked about stopping the clock? You got to think. The enemy saw me sidestepping, or he heard me sidestepping. Like, and a lot of times when you're doing a card or something, they have a little exclamation mark. This is why people have gotten so good at timing these things, the transformations, all the green cards, main abilities, these things that stop the clock, because the character still holds out the animation. So I turned it immediately into a green right here off of intuition because I was caught between a sidestep. And just like when you're backing up, when you're caught between a sidestep, most of the time people turn that into a tackle. So let's see what he does. Most of the time, people turn it into tackles, right? So I was able to turn, and again, it's intuition, but like I said, it works majority of the time. Oh, this is the one. I think I said there's a game where I have inputs and it just doesn't do it, right? I told him to, I swipe, dude. I swipe. You could even see, I'm not gonna go much further. I swipe. You can see my input right here. Boom. I tap. Boom. Didn't do it. I must have done it a millisecond early, but he stood still. Yeah, I think this is the game where I tell him to do a bunch of stuff and it just never happens. Like right there, dude. I told him to go to the side. I told him to sidestep. and he didn't do it. Oh, man, this game was pissing me off so bad. Anyways, I switched for type advantage because I didn't think Vegito's rush would kill him. I really just didn't. Like, Vegito's an incredibly powerful unit, but I didn't think it would kill. Especially if it doesn't kill, I can get green cards and heal, and I have one in hand. Don't you love that? Don't you love that? I get priority here because he waited for a sidestep, by the way. Don't you love that? I said I've eliminated tackles. I still do it a little more than I like to. And that's one of the reasons why you guys should be recording matches, too. I just saw myself tackle 2 or 3 times in this video so far, and I'm trying to really just eliminate it. Canceled Kefla's buffs. Not that it matters. Speaking of tackle, there he is again. Is this the same dude that was drifting forward earlier? I'm pretty sure, right? Like, he's gone for like 4 tackles. I know Vegito can't come back in yet, so I didn't mind using a strike, and I switch here. He switches in time, but it gives me just enough ki to punish him further. I don't think I turned this into a rush, though. I do turn it into a rush. I was going to say, this is the smartest spot to rush in, especially if you're like me and you kind of want to keep Future Gohan Yellow alive, because the EX is so subpar. But, yeah, definitely a good spot to rush. Green is a good card to choose versus this team, but I had already used, ooh, the Haas in unison, by the way, on the rush. I had already used a couple greens, so. That was one thing that I've been doing. There's a couple things that I'm doing in this video, like that fake dash forward I did there. There's a couple things I'm trying to learn to get better at, and also like the bait on the sidestep. If you watch, I kind of wiggle a little bit, then turn it into a sidestep, whatever the case is. There's a couple things I'm testing out, and I always try to learn or get better at a couple things each season. Oh, that was another one. I told him to keep tap punching. He didn't keep tap punching. He literally did like what? 1 tap and ended it? I was so pissed. I was so mad. I was beyond upset at that. He really didn't do what I said. It's like he's bugged. He's like, nah, fam, I'm not going to do what you want. Okay, I turned that into taps. I got his vanish. I go straight into a blue just to get that Dragon Ball as well. I kind of don't care. Lagging a little bit. Literally no damage, but it's okay. I just need back yellow Future Gohan. He's drifting again. I told him. Did you not see the inputs right there? I'm literally tapping on my screen. I was literally tapping on my screen after I did that blast to dash forward and turn it into a sidestep. He literally stood there. You can't make this stuff up. Dude, I didn't want this last match to be me upset most of the time, but I was so pissed when I was playing this match. So I'm actually kind of happy it's post. I was so mad. I was like, why is he not doing anything I'm saying? Oh, hey, another tackle. I got a perfect there, and that's the game. So, anyways, we were able to pull it out, man. We were able to win. Overall, though, it was a fun team. I went 2-1. We had a valiant effort versus the Saiyan team, but definitely not the best team. Again, the bench is just Rose, Goku, and Gotenks. That's kind of what I opted for sustainability. Also, Rose for bait. I bring Rose. I like to bring bait because Rose is a top-tier red unit. People see him, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I definitely need to bring a blue. And it's like, oh, hey, I'm actually bringing 2 greens. I'm not bringing that Rose, so thanks for bringing your blue. It didn't work in every game, but I think it worked in 2 out of 3, so that works. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe, of course, if you are new for more content, as well as that notification so you don't miss anything we upload here on the channel. Have an awesome day, and I'll see all of you guys in the next one.